So here is an error that I was debugging for a while, trying to figure out what was going on, and it's due to ColdFusion running on IIS 10 on Windows 10 with the new HTTP2 protocol. This is enabled by default, and your site is served over H2 protocol when it is secure. That's all you really have to do to enable it. So just to show you, this is the default IIS homepage, which is an HTML page, and if I refresh it, you'll notice that the protocol is H2. Here, just to test that, just to show that this does not happen with another programming language that I have defined on the server, here's my test PHP, which what is happening here, it's basically rendering executing the index PHP within this folder. And we'll refresh them, we'll notice that it's also the H2 protocol, and nothing gets messed up, it actually works. And then here is our CFM test. Now this is the same directory, test-cfm, but here I'm actually stating the file to go to index.cfm, and this is also set as a default document, so it will work without it, but this is where the error happens. So now I'm going to refresh this, and this is H2, but when we do this test without index.cfm, something weird occurs, and it could probably be because of the web connector. I really don't know, but this is how I figured it out and how it can be fixed if you are experiencing it as well. So as you can see, by browsing to test CFM, the protocol downgrades to HTTP 1.1. Now this is okay, this is normal. With Safari it works, with Firefox it works, but the issue was with Safari, and it happened to become an issue for me because I needed to test a site both in Safari and also on my phone, which was running Safari. And so what happens is it just goes into a non-stop loop. So here's Safari. Again, we'll test the HTML page, and when it comes back, sorry, where's all my documents? Is it showing it here now? Okay. Okay, here's my test PHP. You'll notice that is HTTP2. This is also HTTP2. I don't know why it's not showing it here. 1 second, please. Okay. Alright, there we go. The web developer tools were just acting a little weird, and here we go, HTTP2, it is working. And here is our ColdFusion test page. And again, we go to it, it renders really fast. It's HTTP2. You see the little spike here in FusionReactor, which I have to give it to FusionReactor. This is one of the ways that I was able to see that the issue was Safari or ColdFusion, or something weird was happening, because all I had to do was look at this graph and see what happens when I remove this index CFM. So now, when I do that, you'll notice that Safari just kind of hangs. And this is what would happen in my app using Framework 1 on my phone. And as you can see here, it's just it's just going up high, and the connections are connecting over and over again. And what Safari is doing, it's reconnecting. It's just sending reconnections one after the other. And the issue that is happening can be seen here as our console, and it's spitting it out here. You can see that Safari, and it's going to continue to scroll, so let me stop it. Safari is getting this error. This TCP connection destination handle TLS close notify, closing socket due to TLS close notify alert. And on each of these calls, on each of these errors, it's reopening a new connection. And it's of course going back to / just to the /, and it's just continuously looping over. As you can see, now that I stopped it, all the connections dropped. And this was happening because of this one page when the index CFM is not in place. So if you're experiencing this and you need this to work, what you can do is just disable HTTP2 on Windows 10, and all you have to do that is go into your registry, registry editor, and go into sorry, here we go, much easier to see. Go into Computer, HKey, Local Machine, System, Current Control Set, Services, HTTP Parameters, and enter these two new reg words. Now these are here just because they're not going to be here when you come here, but it's enable HTTP2 clear text and enable HTTP2 TLS. Create those two and set them to 0. This will also be in the blog, which will be easier for you to copy and paste. But once you do that, and you now browse with Safari, there will be no connection downgrade because there is no HTTP2, everything is HTTP 1.1, and you'll be able to continue testing until this is resolved. Hope this helps somebody because it was definitely driving me crazy, and I hope the ColdFusion team now has some type of proof that this is an issue and that it can somehow get fixed.